Hi, my name is Laura Nyverson. I'm a second-year English teacher at Troya High School. And the one thing I struggled with the most as a new teacher was classroom management, because you're in a pit full of teenagers that are out to just make your life as hard as possible. And I noticed that stemmed a lot from their cell phone use. Their cell phone use is very addictive and it's chronic, and it's really hard to get them to pry that out of their hands. So I came up with the cell phone caddies in order to help me with my classroom management and their learning. So let's take a look at how I implement the cell phone caddies at the beginning of class.
I got this feeling.
Did you take the Spanish final already?
Yeah, I did. It went actually really good.
Really?
I did really good, yeah.
I guessed on like all my chemistry ones.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you pass.
I don't think so.
Why don't you think so?
Because I guessed on all of them.
And you'll be fine.
Thank you.
Oh, Gabby, we're running late. I think I need to charge my phone, and we need to go to class.
It drops.
Hi guys. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Can I charge my phone? Yeah, here.
The charge card.
And then chart, yeah, you know where to plug it in. Good job. Thank you for asking, Karina. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How's everyone?
Great.
Good. Awesome. Samantha, who's absent?
Karina, Nadia, and Daniel.
Karina's absent.
Karina texted and said she was out sick.
She's out sick. There you are, Nadia. Where's your phone? You want to get a charge card? Just so you got something in there. Thank you. And then who else?
And Daniel.
Daniel's absent?
Daniel's here. He's just helping with senior breakfast. So he's gonna be late.
He's gonna be late? Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on bell work. We're gonna work on chapter 15 today. Students, especially kids in this age group, really appreciate structure, and they really appreciate knowing what to expect as soon as they walk into your room. And with that, they give you respect back because they know that you're not gonna just surprise them one day, and you're not gonna just take their phone away for no reason. So you set up the expectations, you're consistent, that's key. You have to be consistent. You structure your classroom the same way every single day around that cell phone caddy. So as you can imagine, there's a ton of pushback when you take teenagers' phones away. So an incentive was the charging cards. They get to class on time, they ask me if they can charge their phones, and they're at 100% by the time they leave my classroom. Each student gets assigned a number that corresponds to the pocket that they put their cell phone in, which helps me take attendance, and my TAs can also take attendance for me as well. And I can visually see who's here. That also corresponds to their books that they're assigned to and any laptops that we get. So they know immediately, like, I'm number 12, I'm gonna get book number 12, I'm gonna get laptop number 12, wherever we go, whatever we do. Let's explore some other aspects of how the caddy works. All right, guys, so you're gonna do your dialectical journals, right? And then once you're done, go ahead and grab your phone so that you can work on your study guide and look up your vocab words, okay? All right. Is anybody done with their dialectical journals, ready to go get your phones? Go ahead, Judy. But you can't escape the use of technology in a classroom entirely. So I use it as both an incentive and as I incorporate into my lesson plans. So when they're done and they've been on task, I tell them, you can go get your phones, do whatever you need to do, start on your homework. And I also implement it into the actual lesson plan by telling them, you're gonna do this in 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you can go get your phones and start on this project that you have to use the internet for and resources online for. Classroom management still has to be implemented, right? And you still have to be walking around looking to make sure that they're actually on task. Let's say they're just not doing their work, take their phone back. And there's usually not pushback because they know that they're off task. Overall classroom environment is amazing. There's 100% student engagement, and if there isn't 100%, it's like 99%. They're talking to each other, they're talking to me, and they're listening to me, which is great because, you know, as teachers, we repeat ourselves constantly. And that has almost eliminated that. I give my directions the first time and everybody knows what to do because they're all listening. Now let's look at the checkout process at the end of class. Bell's gonna ring, guys. You should be done with your study guides. So you're gonna turn them in and grab your phones. I'm gonna dismiss you by rows, okay? All right, 1 through 6, come and get your phones. Did you get your phone to 100%, Karina?
Yeah.
All right, 7 through 12. If you borrowed a pen, go ahead and leave it back in the pen holder. Thank you. 13 through 18. All right, 19 and 21. Got those two. And then 25, 26. All right, thank you guys. You have a good day. Bye. Bye. Later, Knives. I'll see you tomorrow. Knives. No, we won't. Bye. For the checkout process, the biggest challenge that I faced was students taking what is actually theirs. You have to be structured in your checkout process, make sure that you're checking students out row by row so that you see the cell phones that they're taking. And you don't let anyone leave until all the cell phones are in their possession. Despite this being a new strategy implemented in my classroom and introduced to students, there was very minimal pushback because there's a relief of peer pressure to be constantly on your phone, checking your Snapchat, checking your Messenger, constantly plugged in. They are learning, they're listening to each other and to me, but I think most importantly, they are just absorbing everything that happens in that classroom. Group projects are a lot easier, there's actual collaboration, and there's not so much pressure to be on your phone, so that cuts down the distractions and just the peer pressure. So I know that it is extremely scary to start out as a first-year teacher, especially with high school students, because you feel like they're going to eat you alive. But there's an amazing mentor program that TUSD has in place. Use your mentors and don't be scared to implement something like the phone caddy, because if you are structured and you're consistent, the students will react to that and they will respect you. Thank you so much for joining us as teachers, and we're very happy to have you here at TUSD.